Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive deep into today's fishy debate, sending you all the biggest virtual hug and wishing you nothing but good health and positive vibes. Seriously, taking care of yourself is the most important thing, so wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're feeling strong and energized today. Let's get into it. So, you're standing there at the seafood counter, or maybe browsing the canned fish aisle, and you're trying to make the healthiest choice. Salmon? Tuna? Both have that reputation for being super good for you, right? But which one actually takes the crown? It's like the heavyweight championship of the ocean, and honestly, it's a closer fight than you might think. Both are nutritional powerhouses in their own right, but they do have some key differences that might make one a slightly better fit for you depending on what your body needs and what you're looking for. Forget boring nutrition lectures. Let's break this down in a way that actually makes sense for your everyday life. First off, let's talk about the superstar nutrient everyone associates with fatty fish, omega-3 fatty acids. These are those incredible healthy fats your body absolutely loves but can't make on its own. They're like the ultimate bodyguards for your heart, helping to keep inflammation down, supporting your brain function. Basically, they're superstars. And here's where salmon usually throws the first big punch. Especially fatty salmon like Atlantic salmon or sockeye? They are loaded with omega-3s. We're talking significantly more per serving compared to most types of tuna. Think of salmon as the omega-3 champion. It delivers a massive dose of these essential fats, particularly the types called EPA and DHA, which are the ones your body uses most directly. If getting a megadose of omega-3s is your top priority, maybe for heart health, brain fog, or just overall inflammation fighting, salmon is very often the go-to choice. But hold on, don't count tuna out just yet. Tuna absolutely contains omega-3s too, especially the fattier cuts like tuna belly or certain species. However, generally speaking, most common types of tuna you find, like skipjack or albacore, especially when canned, tend to have less total fat overall, and therefore less omega-3s compared to a similar serving of salmon. It's still a good source, no doubt, but it usually doesn't pack the same concentrated punch as salmon does in the omega-3 department. So, round one on omega-3s? Salmon takes it decisively. But the fight is far from over. Let's shift gears to protein. Both salmon and tuna are absolute rock stars when it comes to high-quality, lean protein. Seriously, they both deliver a fantastic amount per serving. Protein is crucial for building and repairing muscles, keeping you feeling full and satisfied after a meal, and just generally supporting tons of bodily functions. If your main goal is getting a solid hit of protein without a ton of extra baggage, both fish are excellent choices. You really can't go wrong with either here. Tuna, particularly canned light tuna, which is usually skipjack, is often slightly leaner than salmon, meaning it has a tiny bit more protein per ounce of fat, but the difference in the actual amount of protein you get per serving is usually pretty negligible. Think of this round as a draw. Both deliver top-tier protein. Now, let's dive into the vitamin and mineral ring. This is where things get interesting because both fish bring different strengths to the table. Salmon is famously one of the very few natural food sources rich in vitamin D, that sunshine vitamin so many of us are deficient in, especially if you don't live somewhere sunny year-round. Vitamin D is absolutely critical for strong bones. It helps your body absorb calcium, immune system function, and even mood regulation. Getting it naturally from food like salmon is a huge plus. Salmon is also an excellent source of B vitamins, especially B12, which is vital for nerve function and energy levels, and niacin, B3, which also supports energy metabolism and healthy skin. On the mineral front, salmon provides a good amount of potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure, and selenium, a powerful antioxidant that protects your cells. Tuna counters with its own impressive nutrient profile. Where tuna often really shines is in its selenium content. It's typically an exceptional source of this important antioxidant mineral, often providing significantly more per serving than salmon. Selenium is a key player in thyroid health and protecting your cells from damage. Tuna is also a powerhouse for B vitamins, particularly niacin, B3. In fact, some types of tuna can be even richer in niacin than salmon. It's also a very good source of vitamin B12 and B6. While tuna generally doesn't match salmon's vitamin D levels, unless it's specifically fortified or a very fatty wild type, it does offer other valuable nutrients like phosphorus and magnesium. So, who wins the vitamin/mineral round? It depends. If vitamin D is your primary concern, salmon is the clear winner. If you're looking for a massive dose of selenium or niacin, tuna might edge ahead. Both offer fantastic B vitamins overall. Alright, we can't avoid the elephant in the room, or rather, the mercury in the ocean. This is a crucial factor, especially for certain groups. Mercury is a heavy metal that occurs naturally but also comes from pollution. It builds up in fish, especially larger, longer-lived predatory fish higher up the food chain. Unfortunately, both salmon and tuna can contain mercury, but the levels vary significantly. Salmon, particularly wild salmon, tends to be much lower in mercury. It's generally considered one of the safer fish choices in this regard. Tuna, however, is where you need to pay closer attention. The mercury content in tuna varies wildly depending on the type. Smaller tuna species like skipjack, commonly used in light canned tuna, have much lower mercury levels. Larger species like albacore, white tuna, big eye, or bluefin. These can have significantly higher mercury levels. Because of this, health organizations often recommend limiting intake of higher mercury tuna, especially for pregnant women, breastfeeding moms, and young children. For most adults, moderate consumption of light tuna is considered safe and healthy, but it's wise to be mindful of the type and how often you eat it. Salmon generally gets the nod for being a lower mercury option overall. So, on the mercury safety front, salmon generally has the advantage, but choosing light tuna keeps you in a much safer zone than albacore. Beyond just the raw nutrients, there are other practical things to consider. Think about how you actually eat these fish. Canned tuna is incredibly convenient, shelf-stable, affordable, and versatile, tossed in salads, mixed into sandwiches, stirred into pasta. It's a pantry staple for good reason. Canned salmon offers similar convenience and is also a great source of calcium and vitamin D if you eat the soft, edible bones that are often included. Fresh or frozen salmon steaks or fillets are fantastic for grilling, baking, or pan-searing. Fresh tuna steaks, especially high-quality ones like ahi, are delicious seared rare but can be pricier and less common than salmon in many places. Sustainability is another big consideration. Overfishing is a real problem. Both salmon, especially certain wild populations like Atlantic, and tuna, especially bluefin, can face sustainability challenges depending on where and how they're caught. Look for certifications like MSC, Marine Stewardship Council, for wild-caught or ASC/BAP, Aquaculture Stewardship Council/Best Aquaculture Practices, for farm to make more ocean-friendly choices. Wild-caught salmon often has a different nutrient profile, sometimes slightly higher omega-3s, lower contaminants, than farmed, but well-managed farms are crucial for meeting demand. For tuna, pull-on line caught skipjack is generally considered one of the most sustainable choices. So, after all that, who's the winner? Is salmon healthier than tuna? Or is tuna the superior choice? The truth is, it depends. There isn't one single healthier fish. It truly depends on your individual health goals, dietary needs, and circumstances. If maximizing your omega-3 intake is your top priority, salmon is generally your best bet. If you're specifically seeking a huge boost of vitamin D, salmon again shines. If you're looking for a lean protein source that's super convenient and affordable, like canned light tuna, and you want a massive dose of selenium, tuna is a fantastic choice. If you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or feeding young children, salmon's lower mercury profile often makes it the safer default option, though canned light tuna in moderation is usually okay. For most other adults, enjoying a variety of both fish is probably the healthiest approach overall. This way, you reap the unique benefits each one offers. Think of them as teammates in your healthy diet, not rivals. The absolute best choice is the fish you'll actually eat and enjoy regularly. Both salmon and tuna are incredibly nutritious foods, far healthier than many other protein sources like red meat or processed meats. They both deliver high-quality protein, essential healthy fats, and a powerful array of vitamins and minerals. Instead of stressing over which one is the absolute best, focus on incorporating either, or both, into your meals consistently. Choose sustainable options when you can, be mindful of mercury, especially with tuna type and frequency, cook them in healthy ways, grilling, baking, steaming rather than deep frying, and savor the flavor and the amazing nutrients you're giving your body. Whether it's a salmon burger on the grill or a quick tuna salad sandwich, you're making a great choice for your health. So, don't get too caught up in the head-to-head battle, celebrate that you're including these ocean superfoods in your life. Thanks for hanging out, take care of yourselves out there, and I'll catch you in the next video. Stay healthy.